Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Today we are talking about a coin so big, so heavy, and so misunderstood that many people gave up on it, while a few collectors quietly cashed in. The 1974 D. Eisenhower $1 looks like something that should be worth a fortune just because of its size, but the real value hides in details most people never notice. Stick around, because in the next few minutes I'll show you why the 1974 D. dollar is more interesting than it gets credit for, which versions collectors actually hunt for, the mistakes that can change everything, and at the end, what this coin is really selling for today. Bring the camera in close and let the coin fill the frame. This thing is massive. On the front, you see Dwight D. Eisenhower staring straight ahead. Strong jaw. Serious expression. The date 1974 sits clearly below, and just under Eisenhower's neck. Look for that small D mint mark. That single letter already tells part of the story. Tilt the coin slowly under the light. Notice how wide the fields are. There's a lot of open space on this coin, and that matters later. Now flip it over. Zoom in. You see the eagle landing on the moon, clutching an olive branch, with Earth floating in the background. This design wasn't random. It celebrates the Apollo 11 moon landing. One of the most important moments in human history, captured on a US dollar coin. That alone gives the Eisenhower dollar a special place in American numismatics. Here's where things get interesting. By 1974, Americans had already decided they didn't like using big dollar coins. They were heavy. They didn't fit well in pockets. Vending machines hated them. So even though millions were made, many went straight into storage or were ignored completely. The 1974 D. Eisenhower dollar was struck in Denver and released for circulation. Unlike some earlier dollars, this one contains no silver at all. It's a copper-nickel-clad coin. Show the edge in a close-up. That copper stripe running through the middle tells you right away it's not silver. So why do collectors care? Because this coin is famous for weak strikes and hidden varieties. The large size of the design made it difficult for the mint to strike all the details cleanly. Look closely at Eisenhower's hair. The cheek. The lettering in Liberty. Many 1974 D coins look soft or flat in these areas. When you find one with sharp details, collectors notice immediately. Now here's a moment where you want to slow the video down. Zoom in on the lettering. Some 1974 D. Eisenhower dollars show double die characteristics. Slight doubling in the date, the motto, or parts of the design. These aren't scratches. They're mint-made errors caused by misaligned dies. Another thing collectors look for is strike quality on the reverse. The eagle's feathers and the Earth's details are often weak. Strong detail here can dramatically change the value. And then there are the bigger errors. Off-center strikes. Broad strikes with missing rims. Die cracks running through the design. These coins were never meant to leave the mint, but they did, and today they're some of the most interesting dollars out there. Here's a fun fact most people don't realize. Because Eisenhower dollars didn't circulate heavily, many survived in high condition. That sounds good, but it also means truly perfect examples are much harder to find than you'd expect. Finding one with clean surfaces, sharp strike, and no major marks is surprisingly tough. So let's talk real value. In circulated condition, a 1974 D. Eisenhower dollar usually sells for about $1 to $3. Uncirculated examples can range from $5 to $30, depending on strike quality and eye appeal. High-grade coins with strong details can sell for several $100s. Error coins, especially dramatic double dies or major strike errors, have sold at auction for thousands of dollars, all from a dollar coin most people thought was a failure. So now I want to hear from you. Do you own an Eisenhower dollar, or have you ever held one and wondered why it felt so different? And if you could add any US dollar coin to your collection, which one would it be? The 1974 D. Eisenhower $1 proves that even unpopular coins can carry serious history, hidden varieties, and real collector value. Top 2. Today we are talking about a dollar coin that shocked Americans the moment it appeared, confused people for years, and later surprised collectors with how valuable certain versions became. The 1971 Eisenhower $1 was big, heavy, bold, and completely different from anything people were used to spending. Give me a few minutes, because I'm going to show you why this first-year dollar matters so much, which versions collectors hunt aggressively, the hidden details most people miss, and at the end, what this coin is really worth in today's market. Bring the camera in close and let the coin dominate the screen. This is not a small coin. On the front, you see Dwight D. Eisenhower staring straight ahead. Strong features. Serious presence. The date 1971 sits clearly below. This was the first time Eisenhower ever appeared on a US dollar coin, and that alone makes this year special. Tilt the coin under the light. Notice how wide and open the surface is. That space made this coin beautiful, but it also made it difficult for the mint to strike perfectly. Now flip it over slowly. Zoom in. The eagle is landing on the moon, clutching an olive branch, with Earth floating in the distance. This design honors the Apollo 11 moon landing. One of the most important moments in human history, captured on a circulating US coin. That's not just money. That's a story in metal. Here's where things get interesting. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar was the very first year of the series. The mint was reintroducing the dollar coin after a long break, and expectations were high. But Americans weren't sure what to think. The coin was heavy. It didn't fit easily in pockets. Many people simply didn't use it. Now look closely under Eisenhower's neck. Depending on the coin, you might see no mint mark, AD, or an S. Philadelphia and Denver coins were made for circulation. San Francisco coins were made mainly for collectors. This is where a lot of people get confused. Some 1971 Eisenhower dollars contain silver, and some don't. The circulating coins from Philadelphia and Denver are copper-nickel clad. Show the edge in a close-up. That copper stripe in the middle tells you there's no silver inside, but the San Francisco Mint also produced special collector versions in 40% silver. These were never meant for circulation. They were sold directly to collectors. Side-by-side shots make the difference clear. The silver coins look brighter, feel heavier, and have a different presence in the hand. Now let's talk about varieties, because this is where collectors really wake up. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar is famous for weak strikes. Look at Eisenhower's hair. The cheek. The lettering in Liberty. Many coins look flat or soft because the dies struggle to fill the design properly. When you find a 1971 Ike with sharp detail and strong strike, collectors pay attention immediately. There are also known double die varieties. Slight doubling in the lettering or date caused by misaligned dies. These are not scratches or damage. They happened at the mint, and they add real value. And then there are the big errors. Off-center strikes. Broad strikes with missing rims. Die cracks cutting through the design. These coins slipped out during a time when the mint was pushing production fast, and today they're some of the most exciting Eisenhower dollars to find. Here's a fun fact. Even though millions of 1971 Ike dollars were made, truly high-grade examples are surprisingly hard to find. The large size made them easy to mark, scratch, and damage. A clean, sharply struck example is far rarer than the mintage numbers suggest. So what is a 1971 Eisenhower $1 actually worth? Circulated clad examples usually sell for about $1 to $3. Uncirculated coins range from $5 to $50 depending on condition and strike quality. Silver versions from San Francisco often sell from $15 to $40, with top-grade examples going much higher. Rare varieties and major mint errors have sold at auction for thousands of dollars, all from a coin many people once refused to spend. Now I want to hear from you. Do you own an Eisenhower dollar, or have you ever held one and wondered why it felt so different? And which US dollar coin would you love to add to your collection? The 1971 Eisenhower $1 isn't just a coin. It's the comeback of the American dollar, the start of a bold experiment, and a piece of space-age history you can hold in your hand. Top 3. Today we are talking about a dollar coin so large and bold that people thought it would change everyday spending. and instead it quietly disappeared from pockets while collectors slowly realized what they were missing. The 1974 Eisenhower $1 looks powerful, historic, and common all at once, yet certain versions and details have pushed this coin far beyond $1. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes I'll show you why the 1974 Ike dollar is more important than most people think, which versions collectors really want, the mistakes hiding in plain sight, and at the end, what this coin is actually worth today. Bring the camera in close and let the coin fill the frame. This coin feels heavy even before you look at it. On the front, Dwight D. Eisenhower faces forward with a strong, serious expression. The date 1974 sits clearly below. Tilt the coin under the light and notice how wide and open the surface is. That large flat area plays a huge role in this coin's story. Now flip it over slowly. Zoom in. The eagle is landing on the moon, olive branch in its claws, Earth floating quietly in the distance. This design celebrates the Apollo 11 moon landing, one of humanity's greatest achievements. Every Eisenhower dollar carries a piece of space history, and that alone makes people pause when they really look at it. Here's the first twist. By 1974, Americans had already decided they didn't love using big dollar coins. They were bulky. They didn't fit well in wallets. So most 1974 Eisenhower dollars didn't circulate much at all. Many went straight into drawers, jars, and bank vaults, forgotten for decades. Now look under Eisenhower's neck. You might see no mint mark, AD, or an S. Philadelphia and Denver struck coins for circulation. San Francisco focused on collector versions. This is where confusion starts. Circulating 1974 Eisenhower dollars are copper-nickel clad. Show the edge in a close-up. That copper-colored stripe through the middle tells you there's no silver inside, but San Francisco struck special collector coins. Some were regular clad proofs, and others were 40% silver proofs made specifically for collectors. Hold one under bright light and the difference becomes obvious. Proof coins show mirror-like fields and sharp, frosted details. Silver versions feel heavier and look brighter. Now here's where collectors lean in closer. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar is famous for weak strikes. Because the design was so large, the mint struggled to bring out full detail. Look closely at Eisenhower's hair, the cheek, and the word Liberty. Many coins look soft or flat in these areas. When you find a sharply struck 1974 Ike with clean surfaces, collectors immediately take notice, and then there are the errors. Doubled dies showing slight doubling in the date or lettering. Off-center strikes where part of the design is missing. Broad strikes with distorted rims. Die cracks running through Eisenhower's face or across the moon on the reverse. These aren't damaged coins. They're mint-made mistakes, and each one tells a story from a time when the mint was pushing out massive numbers of coins. Here's a detail most people don't expect. Even though millions of 1974 Eisenhower dollars were made, truly high-grade examples are hard to find. The large size made them easy to scratch, bag mark, and scuff. A clean, well-struck example can be far more valuable than the mintage numbers suggest. So let's talk real value. In circulated condition, most 1974 Eisenhower dollars sell for about $1 to $3. Uncirculated examples usually range from $5 to $30, depending on strike quality and condition. Proof versions from San Francisco often sell from $5 to $20, while silver proofs commonly sell from $15 to $50. High-grade coins with exceptional detail can reach several $100s, and rare mint errors have sold at auction for thousands, all from a coin many people once called too big to bother with. Now I want to hear from you. Do you own an Eisenhower dollar, or have you ever held one and wondered why it felt different from every other coin? And which US dollar coin would you love to add to your collection? The 1974 Eisenhower $1 proves that even overlooked coins can carry history, space-age symbolism, and real collector value. Top 4. Today we are talking about a dollar coin that looks ordinary, feels heavy, and yet hides one of the most famous and valuable modern US coin varieties ever discovered. The 1972 Eisenhower $1 has fooled collectors for decades, because the rare version looks almost exactly like the common one. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes I'll show you why the 1972 Ike dollar is legendary, how a tiny detail on the back can mean the difference between $1 and thousands, and at the end, what this coin is really worth today. Bring the camera in close and let the coin take over the screen. This is a big coin. On the front, Dwight D. Eisenhower faces forward, calm and serious. The date 1972 sits clearly below. Tilt the coin under the light and notice the wide, open fields. This design looks simple, but it's anything but. Now flip the coin over slowly and zoom in. The eagle is landing on the moon, olive branch in its claws, with Earth floating above. This reverse design honors the Apollo 11 moon landing. A real moment in history, frozen in metal, carried in pockets. Here's where the story gets wild. In 1972, the U.S. Mint used more than one design hub for the reverse. That means not all 1972 Eisenhower dollars are the same, even though they look identical at first glance. There are 3 known reverse types for 1972. Most people only ever see one. But one of them is so rare that collectors still double-check every 1972 Ike they find. Zoom in tightly on the Earth above the eagle. This is the key. On the most common version, the islands near Florida look soft and blurry. On another version, the Earth looks flatter, almost unfinished. But on the rare Type 2 reverse, the Earth is bold, rounded, and sharply defined. Florida sticks out clearly. The Caribbean islands are strong and detailed. This rare reverse was used only briefly, likely by mistake, before the Mint corrected it. No announcement. No warning. Just a quiet change. That's why so many slipped into circulation unnoticed. Now here's the part that keeps collectors hooked. The rare 1972 Type 2 Eisenhower dollar was struck only at the Philadelphia Mint, and only in a very small quantity. Most people have never seen one in real life. Many collectors go their entire lives without finding one. Show side-by-side visuals of the Earth design for comparison. Once you see the difference, you can't unsee it, and that's not all. The 1972 Ike is also known for weak strikes. Look closely at Eisenhower's hair and cheek. Many coins look flat in these areas. Finding one with a strong strike adds value instantly. There are also double die varieties. Slight doubling in the lettering or date caused during the minting process. And then you have classic errors. Off-center strikes. Broad strikes. Die cracks running across Eisenhower's face or through the moon on the reverse. Each error tells a story from a year when the Mint was experimenting and moving fast. Now check the edge of the coin in a close-up. If you see a copper-colored stripe, it's a clad coin. Most 1972 Eisenhower dollars are copper-nickel. But San Francisco also produced collector versions in 40% silver. These were never meant for circulation. They were sold directly to collectors and feel heavier in the hand. Here's a fun twist. Even though millions of 1972 Ike dollars were made, truly high-grade examples are tough to find. These coins are large and easy to damage. Clean surfaces and sharp details are harder to find than you'd expect. So let's talk real value. Common circulated 1972 Eisenhower dollars usually sell for about $1 to $3. Uncirculated examples can range from $5 to $50 depending on condition. Silver versions from San Francisco often sell from $15 to $40. But the rare 1972 Type 2 reverse is in a completely different league. Verified examples have sold at auction for several $1,000s, with top-grade coins reaching even higher, all because of a tiny detail most people never noticed. So now I want to ask you. Do you own a 1972 Eisenhower dollar, and have you ever checked the Earth on the back? And which U.S. coin would you love to find just once in your lifetime? The 1972 Eisenhower $1 proves that real treasure can hide in plain sight, waiting for the right pair of eyes. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more real coin history and true market values. And don't miss the next video, because the rarest coin you'll ever find might already be sitting in a drawer at home.